Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again with the first of this week's sceneries. We didn't do much last week. I have microphone issues. I still have microphone issues, so we're using a little sort of cheap headset to at least try and get a video out to you today. So I apologize in advance for the sound quality. This will hopefully be improved when I get my new PC. Okay, so where are we? Okay, makes a change. We're in Hawaii in the United States. This is Oahu, and this is Dillingham Airport in Oahu in Hawaii, Papa Hotel Delta Hotel. This is a payware scenery by Northern Sky Studio, and we're looking at version 2 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Note there's also a 2024 version available as well. Download comes in at 2.01 gigs, just over 2 gigs. And it installs at 3.91 gigs, so just under 4 gigs. You can buy it from AnyBuilds, Orbix and Simmarket, and so far the best price seems to be Orbix, which comes in at €13.50, which equates to $14.64 US, or £11.32 UK. Note all of those prices above there are taken from the Australian dollar, and they include tax or VAT at 20%. Which of course could vary depending on which country you are when you purchase. This is a lovely little GA airport tucked away on the island of Oahu, and the scenery is quite intense. There's a lot here that you can't see from this shot, but it is a pretty nice place. So let's have a look at the features. So features of this airport: we have the most detailed replica of the airport, its buildings and vehicles. You have custom built surroundings. All materials created with full PBR rendering, shading and occlusion, texture baking, effects on all buildings, high resolution building textures, use of native highly efficient GITF models, and custom orthophoto for the airport and the surrounding areas. There's a lot to this airport which may not appear to be the case when we look straight away, but as we go deeper into this you'll get to see. So those are the features. Let's look at some history. Okay, some history for you. Dillingham Airfield, Papa Hotel Delta Hotel, is a public stroke military use airport owned by the United States Army and operated by the Hawaii Department of Transportation under a 50-year lease agreement from the United States Army. The airport is located 2 nautical miles or 4 kilometers west of Central Business District of Mokulea in Honolulu County, on the north shore of the island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii. The airport is primarily used for gliding and skydiving operations, and also houses a Civil Air Patrol glider aircraft. Military operations consist largely of night operations for night vision device training and orientation flights for the US Air Force Auxiliary. In 1941 the Army leased additional land and established Mokulea's airstrip. The Curtiss P-40 fighters were deployed at the North Shore airstrips of COCKATOO, Hulawea and Mokulea when the attack on Pearl Harbor took place. Aircraft taking off from the nearby Hulawea destroyed several of the attacking enemy aircraft. And I apologize for my pronunciation. The runway was paved and later extended to 9,000 feet or 2,745 meters. And a crosswind runway added in 1942 and 1945. By the end of World War II, Mokulea Airfield could handle B-29 Super Fortress bombers. In 1946, the Army acquired an additional 583 acres, or 236 hectares. In 1948, the airfield was renamed Dillingham Air Force Base in memory of Captain Henry Gaylord Dillingham, a B-29 airman who was killed in action over Kawasaki in Japan in July of 1945. Captain Dillingham was the son of Walter F. Dillingham and the grandson of Benjamin Dillingham, who founded a railroad which evolved into Hawaiian Dredging Company and the Dillingham Corporation. In 1962 the state of Hawaii leased Dillingham for general aviation use, and in the 1970s the base was transferred from the Air Force back to the Army. The state of Hawaii signed new leases with the Army in 1974, 1983, 2000 and 2024. In the 1980s, hangars, a control tower and a fire station were built. For the 12-month period ending June the 30th, 2015, the airport had 103 operators per day. 96% were general aviation and 4% were military. At that time, there were 47 aircraft based on the airport, 24 single-engine, 20 gliders, 1 helicopter and 2 ultralight. Interesting fact, the television series Lost was filmed several scenes at Dillingham Airfield due to its remote location close to the North Shore, where the series was primarily filmed. The fuselage from the fictional Oceanic Airlines Flight 815 also stored at Dillingham and was transported to the beach when needed for filming. So there you are, short history. This is primarily glider operations, bit of general aviation and also military as well. But as you can see from the few little shots I've shown you so far, there's quite a bit to be explored here. So let's look at the runway situation now. So runways. Dillingham Airport operates a single runway 2608, measuring 9,007 feet, or 2,745 meters, and is constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 14.2 feet, or 4.3 meters, and sits within the GMT UTC -10 hours time zone. Now, unlike much of the US, the state of Hawaii does not observe daylight saving time, or DST, and with the UK currently on GMT, the airport remains 10 hours behind the UK. So we're looking down the runway now. It's 20 to 6 in the evening. It's late March 2025, the time of this video. As you can see, the runway has no lighting at all, so this is effectively daytime use only. So there are no approach procedures for either end, and there are no approach lighting. No published instrument approach procedures for the airport exist either. The airport has no active control tower. By that I mean there is a control tower, but it's not active all the time. CTAF use only between 9 AM and 5 PM local. The airport's attended from 7 AM to 3:30 local time. And note, the runway may be closed from 8 o'clock until 5 PM UTC, which is 6 PM until 2 o'clock in the morning local time, basically for military operations. Pilots check airnav.com for further details. You can find details about this from airnav.com. So this is runway 26. Once again, you can see a massive displaced threshold and a turning area as well, and the taxiway goes all the way down. So let's whip down the other end, have a look at 08. So here we are looking at the other end, runway 08, and once again a big displaced threshold, and you can see the actual ramp area here has marginal lighting as well, and you've got access to the runway by this taxiway here. But again, no lighting on the runway, no published approach procedures for either end of the runway. Okay, so as before, there are no jetways on this airport, so let's get down to the airport proper, bring it back to daytime and try and have a close look at what we've got here. Okay, welcome back. So before we start here, we're at the western end of the airport here. As you can see, here's the main apron, the civilian apron, and you've got this area here, and here's the ocean. Thought we'd have a look at this northern end first and traverse along here. A little disappointed really at the low resolution here that's been done with the water. I mean, it doesn't look terribly realistic at all really. That's probably my only complaint so far. It would have been nice to see this done a lot more high resolution. I don't know really whether it's part of the scenery, but it just looks a little bit off-putting for me. It's just my opinion, of course. Okay, so we'll take a slow tour across this excuse me, across this northern end of the airport and have a look at these hangars. As you can see, you've got a fence line that goes all the way around the airport, and various cars and little features that just make this scenery quite pleasant. So let's have a little look. So there we go, there's the fence line. The trees and the foliage look really nice. And there you can see various vehicles and bits and pieces down there. It's all been really beautifully modelled, I have to say. And you've got the odd person around. There we've got gliders. And we have gliders inside the hangars as well. Very, very nicely done. And here you can see the landside road on the side of the fence goes all the way down. Got a bit of traffic on it, and you've got the blocks there that separate the road from the beach. And then you can see various little bits and pieces that have been added to the scenery for you to look at. You can land a helicopter there and have a day at the beach if you wanted to. And here you can see more dwellings that are actually not part of the airport but are off airport as well. It's really nice. There are some really lovely additions here. So now we'll cross the runway to the southern side, which is the sort of main ramp development, as it were. And once again, some really nice work has been done here. You've got some hangars there, you've got a Cessna inside it. Now here's the tower building. It looks really nice from the outside. You've got a lovely lady there standing and enjoying the view. Let's get a close-up of the tower facility. So as you can see at the moment, the tower is manned. We've got a gentleman inside. And there he is with his computer screen. And we've got some animal company as well. I've actually seen this bird in a few different sceneries, so it's quite a nice little animation. So there's a Hawaiian ATR-72 that I found. There is a GSX profile for this, and I'll give you the link in the description below. When I went on to stand 201 there, which appears to be the largest place you can park an ATR, I got the usual GSX warning about this stand is too small for your aircraft. I can't, to be honestly, see how that's the case. However, we'll see. For the moment, let's look at this hangar. As you can see, nice quality design here, looks really impressive. Now that's interesting, nice hangar, but you can't go in there. So maybe there's a little thing that needs to be corrected there. Nevertheless, a really nice hangar, no complaints at all. And you have the usual array of equipment here. You've got the oil feed over there and electrical supply here. And you've got this hangar here, which looks to be not finished yet, not complete or whatever. But yeah, it looks nice. It's all been nicely done, really. Very little complaints, just the problem going into that other hangar there needs to be corrected. But as you can see, everything here, right down to the telephone wires and cables there. And you look at the mountains up there to the right, it's a lovely location. And going further landside, again, you can see you've got lots of off-airport bits and pieces for you to explore, and potentially places for you to bring a helicopter in. It's really nice. Okay, so just for a change, we're in the ATR-72 here, Hawaiian Airlines, which I've just purchased. I'm going to try and learn to fly this because I wanted something that I could use in Africa, and this might be the answer to it. So this is a view you get parking on stand 201, looking out of the cockpit. There's the captain's side. and looking out the first officer's window. So once again, just popping across landside here. As you can see, they've developed almost everything. There's really nothing left to chance. They've done a lovely job. Lots of little intricate bits and pieces to make this airport come alive. It's very nice indeed. So here you've got the public road, which is pretty much right by the runway, that gives you access to this area here, which is sort of midway down the runway point. In the distance there you can see the main apron up here. And a quick look down the taxiway. This takes us to the extended threshold at runway 26. There you can see the fence line. And here you can see the taxiway. We're approaching the actual threshold of runway 26 there. And at the end of it all, you've got this area here where there's the gliding club and the skydivers. Again, loads more detail for you to enjoy. And we've got an animated gentleman there, and some other people, animated flags, and people outside there enjoying the sunshine. Various cars, bits and pieces parked in the places you'd expect to see them. Again, it's really nice to see a few people just dotted around here. Just brings the place to life. Very nice. I'll take a quick look landside. It's beautifully done. It's a very nice little GA airport. It's a real gem, I think. And quite a bit you get really for the price. The only restriction is, of course, you're going to be really restricted until sunrise or sunset because there's no runway lighting for you here. But all in all, some very nice modelling. And as you can see, some bits and pieces off airport as well, and the scenery is very, very nice indeed. So that was a look over the airport during the daytime. Let's drop the lighting down and have a look and see what it looks like at dusk. Okay, 20 to 7 in the evening. Lights came on about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and as you can see, we've got some basic lighting here. Some quite nice subtle lighting. This is probably getting very close to the time you could get into and out of this airport, given the fact that there's no runway lighting. So let's just have a close look at what we've got. So you've got this very nice compass rose there. And I mean, the place looks really nice in the sunset. So the hangar's got interior lighting. Pity you can't get in there. I think that's something maybe the developers need to work on or correct. So this is the main ramp at dusk. And here you've got the tower. Some nice down lighting there, and there's lighting inside the tower. So here you can get an idea of just some of the way some of the modelling is. I mean, the texturing is wonderful, and it shows up really well at this time of the evening. Now let's try this hangar, see if you can get in. Right, so you can get in this hangar, so if you've got a small GA aircraft, chances are you can get into some of these hangars and park it should you wish to. So as you can see, a couple of open hangars, some nice modelling, some nice interior work as well. So this could be fun for you GA guys. All in all, it's pretty nice. So it just looks great, and there are more buildings and things that have light on them as well for you to examine. So let's cross the runway to the western side. Let's see what we've got here, if anything. So not much lighting over here except on one or two of the vehicles, which is probably what you'd expect. I mean, these are all gliders. Nobody's really going to operate sort of when the sun's gone down. So here's the skydiving club at the other end. Just thought we'd have a quick look. A little bit of lighting here and there, nothing much to write home about though. Actually, this building here seems to be lit more than any of the others. But once again, very nice indeed. So that was a quick tour of the facilities at dusk. I don't know how much we're going to see at night. You certainly can't operate at night pretty much here. But we'll turn the light down to night time and see what night lighting there is, if any. Okay, it's 10 PM local time, and there's a beautiful night sky there. You can see the stars, and we've got some nice lighting on this building here. And looking in the other direction, I mean, there's something up there on the hill. Wonder what this is. But again, these are things I'm going to leave you to explore. It looks like there's probably lots of little hidden bits and pieces around here. And there you've got various buildings slightly off airport that are also lit up for you to examine. And as you can see, some of the buildings are lit, some of them aren't. There's the runway. Strangely enough, I mean, this is 10 PM local time, and it's not as dark as I thought it might be. So a quick look at the beach. To be honest, it looks better at darkness. Doesn't look quite as bad as it did during the day. Maybe it's me, I don't know. So here's the main ramp at night time. There is lighting about, which is nice, and it looks pretty pleasant. We see vehicles crossing the runway, haven't seen anything going down the runway, which is a good thing. And there to the right is the 08 threshold with the display threshold here. You've got a truck here, which I'm not sure, I think it might be GSX, I don't know, but it's all lit up, which is lovely. And as you can see, a beautiful night sky. And now we're looking out towards the coast. You've got vehicles going down the road with their lights on. And there we go, looking down the other end. Oh, it's lovely. I'm really quite surprised. As I said, 10 PM, and the airport is actually quite bright. I wonder what it's like at midnight. Let's have a quick drop it down at midnight. Okay, midnight local time, and as you can see, not a lot of difference. So possibly you could fly in here at night. It would be subject to weather conditions. And obviously I believe it's a case of prior permission required. But it looks pleasant enough. And there's the main ramp. You're not really going to have any trouble finding it. And ideally you could well make a landing here. Anyway, let's move along and have a look at dawn now. Actually, before we do the dawn, it's now 3:30 in the morning, and now you can see it's really dark. This is probably what the dead of night looks like here, which would obviously make this airport unusual. And there, looking east, you can't see the runway or the taxiway or anything at all. But you do have this really nice view of the moon sinking into the sea. So let's bring up the dawn proper now. Okay, 5 to 6 in the morning, and there you can see we've got the red glow on the buildings that we normally expect to see. Sun's coming up behind me. And the ramp's looking pretty pleasant. And we've got some people there. Not sure if they were there before when we were looking. Maybe they are time dependent, I'm not sure. But looking pretty nice. And the sun rises in the east over the mountains there. And you've got a really nice view of the beach there, which looks so much better in the low light. During the daytime it doesn't look terribly real at all, but during the darkness or dusk hours it looks so much better. Okay, 9:30 in the morning, time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts. Do I like it? Yeah, I like this very much. Firstly, my thanks to the guys at Northern Sky Studio for sending me this copy for review, and my sincere apologies to everybody concerned for the delay in getting this review out. I've had microphone issues. I may still have microphone issues, and if I do, I apologise for the quality of sound here. But at least I'm going to get this video out today so you can have a look at this lovely little GA airfield. So much going for it. Really, really nice. And I think the price is very competitive. Just under $15, and includes tax, by the way, or just over £11 UK. It's a lovely little airport. And if you like flying around Hawaii, this is perfect for your collections. Very nice. Really no complaints at all. I would like to see the problem with this hangar sorted out. You can't go inside and it's empty, so you could park something in there, but unfortunately we're bounced out over to the roof, so you can't go inside. You can go inside this open hangar, I presume some of the others as well, which is really nice. And it would be, I mean, the lighting is excellent in various places. There are some places where they haven't put in lighting at all, so it would be nice to see a little bit more. But you know, you can't argue. It's beautiful. It's been really well put together. You could get an Airbus in here, a little Airbus. I mean, you've got 9,000 feet of runway, but it'd have to be during the day. And there's probably arguably just enough room to park it. But no, wonderful little airport, and highly recommended. I've actually been quite surprised by how good it is. So there you are, folks. It's Dillingham Airport on Oahu Island in Hawaii. Papa Hotel Delta Hotel. To Payware Scenery by Northern Sky Studio, version 2 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020 is what we're looking at. And there is a 2024 version available when you buy this as well. Download comes in at just over 2 gigs, 2.1 gigs, and it installs at just under 4 gigs, so it's not massive, but there's enough here to keep you entertained. You can get it from any builds, from Orbix or from Simmarket, depending on where you like to buy your products. I found Orbix to be the best price so far. Could change, of course, particularly because the prices are based on the Australian dollar. But we're looking at €13.50 or $14.64 US, or £11.32 UK. And those prices are estimates taken from the Australian dollar, and they include tax at 20%, which of course could vary depending on which country you're in when you buy it. So there you are, folks. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you were wondering about it, I hope it's helped you. Stay tuned. I'm going to try and get at least one other video out this week. I do have a few things going on, but we're going to go and try and get APRON Ohio, the latest product by Fly2i. We're going to try and bring that review. And also I did mention I would be looking at a freeware You helicopter pilots, there's a wonderful little freeware of Sunrise Mountain Hospital Heliport just inside Las Vegas. It's not very far, it's about 6 minutes flying time north of Harry Reid International Airport. There's a freeware scenery which you're going to look at as well, and include a helicopter flight. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So my name's Lee, thanks for joining me. Again, I apologise if the sound's a bit rubbish, but at least I get this video out for you today. And yeah, look forward to the next one later in the week. So take care, happy flying, stay safe, and bye for now.